restaurants. They're meant to help people get a proper diet, and they're doing just that. People with low incomes can now afford the fresh fruits and vegetables that can be expensive.
Yes, that is true. But in a New York Times article, Is Junk Food Really Cheaper? The article mentions that a family of four can eat cheaper on a meal based off of junk food than a healthy home-cooked meal. It costs more to buy a head of broccoli than a bag of chips. It's no wonder that Americans are eating so poorly. And what about the media? The media also has a lot to do with how people are eating these days, especially children. 9 out of 10 food advertisements shown on children's television programming on Saturday mornings are for foods high in fat, sodium, or sugar. Did you know, Kiana, that food commercials sum up to 1 minute and 52 seconds per hour? What message is the media trying to send out to American families?
Look, I agree, but don't you see that there are other nutrition assistance programs, like the National School Lunch Program? Children can get free or discounted meals if their family receives SNAP benefits, regardless of income. So you can't say SNAP is not encouraging healthy eating. Plus, studies have shown that kids who take the school lunch have a lower rate of obesity than those who don't, and they have better psychosocial and academic skills.
You brought up some very good points, Kiana. Let's see if American leaders will continue to push for healthy eating. But for now, I will agree to disagree. And now, here is reporter Whitney Ellen Powell with our editorial.
Hey, Mom, what's for dinner? This popular jingle of the mid-70s gave the signal loud and clear to moms all over the U.S. that it was time for dinner. However, when ShopRite came out with this catchy tune, did anyone think of those families who would be without a meal that night? And when ShopRite developed its Can Can cartoon with scantily clad French girls dancing down the aisles of a supermarket, who would have thought that so many Americans would still be hungry? It's great to catch those sales, but what if you can't take advantage of them because you just lost your job, or your SNAP benefits run out before the end of the week? No parent wants to send their child to bed with no food. It's just the American way to provide abundance. In 2010, 1 in 7 people were food insecure. This means that 1 in 7 did not have the balanced diet required to be healthy. This hunger problem has been going on since the 60s. Will it ever end? Mayor Cory Booker of New Jersey took the food stamp challenge and lived on $4 a day. He was humbled at the end of his week and said he had nothing else to eat but a burnt sweet potato. In his recent blog, Mayor Booker wrote that the SNAP program was up for great risk during the year-end crisis. President Obama has a goal of ending child hunger by 2015. He hopes that private investments will help boost agricultural production and improve food security. Last spring, the U.S. House of Representatives passed a federal budget that would jeopardize food assistance programs. According to the Center for Budget and Policy Priorities, the budget will gain 62% of its savings by slashing programs that benefit low-income groups. This federal budget will cut funding for food stamps by $134 billion over the next 10 years, more than 17%. How will people on food-subsidized programs survive? Politics plays its chess piece well in the Hunger Games. Federal law says that homeless people are supposed to be able to apply for food stamps, but homeless people are often incorrectly told that they need a permanent address in order to apply. Although some practices clearly violate the law, there are very few mechanisms in place to force state and local government to comply with the most basic rules regarding access to food assistance programs. And if you ever saw the lengthy checkoff list required to even think of getting food stamps, you'd be very intimidated. If the federal government continues in this irresponsible direction, America will no longer be the land of plenty, but the land of empty. Thank you.